I've been lucky in my time covering the Toronto Blue Jays to meet people like Joey Loperfido, a wonderful person, hilarious sense of humor. And our next guest is also somebody that I was really happy I had the chance to interview and get to know back in 2023 when he was on the roster. And that is Jay Jackson, who joins the program now. Thank you for joining us, sir. Good morning to you.
What's up, Jay?
Hey guys. Hey.
We have so many questions for you, but I have to ask because your story when you were with the Toronto Blue Jays, you were getting those moments on the mound. Everyone was rooting for you, but obviously your son at the time was born 15 weeks premature,
Mhm.
and the story kind of captivated the world how you're going to the neonatal intensive care unit, I believe in Salt Lake. And then, you're going back and forth to playing all these games. How is the little man doing?
He's actually upstairs right now with his mom and grandparents. We're in Utah right now still. So he's up there. He goes to daycare 3 days a week. He's enjoying it. He's unfortunately, but I guess blessed and fortunate that all he does and talk about now is baseball. Like from the time he wakes up in the morning to when he goes to sleep, he just grabs his bat and his first word is literally baseball every morning. So it's a blessing. I think it's from the environment he was in, all the support and love I got from the Toronto fans and prayers and everything. He's probably going to hopefully be the next Blue Jay in our family. So it's looking promising right
We love to hear that. Well, love to hear that he's
Yes.
doing great in the family. Great. And when it comes to spring training, obviously, pitchers and catchers reported this week. Your career and story within MLB, unique. You grinded it out. So many people listening to what you have to say now as you continue to be a mentor and coach. But what was spring training camps like for you over the years? Because it's a lot different story than you'll say here from other pitchers.
It varied throughout the years, I would say, just for the different places I was in. And as my career kind of went, longer and longer, it became I was just more blessed to be at spring training every spring and wondering if I was going to get a job to be there, especially my last couple, not with the Blue Jays, but after that with the Twins, hearing really late, even with the Blue Jays, hearing kind of late from them, just wondering what was going to happen. So at the beginning of the career, you just kind of look at it as excitement and you get to play baseball for a living and everything's just really exciting for you. But as you understand the business and the behind the scenes and you understand that it's a job, it becomes more of a blessing and just trying to fight and grind to make sure you're there to not only have fun, but to provide for your family and the people around
I'm curious, Jay, do you have a story of just like how freaking good major league players are? Because for us average Joes, it can look easy sometimes on television, but was there a like, hey, I'm in the show kind of moment that you had in your career?
you. I think every day that I was there was that moment because just different things happened every day for just to see these guys. I mean, I was teammates with Vladdy, Bo, over the years, Josh Hader, Devin Williams, Kristen Yelich, just guys everywhere. Early in my career, I was teammates with Matt Kemp, Justin Upton, BJ Upton, James Shields. So you see these guys and you see them put in the work every day, and just some of the things that they do just day to day just amazes you because normal people, average people, just even myself being a big leaguer, I was like, I can't do these things. So it's just, every day is a big league moment. But I think my most moments were I don't even think it was in the big leagues. I think it was in the minors in AAA. I had a guy hit a ball off me so far that he had rehabbed from the big leagues. I was like, oh, this is what big leaguers really hit like. It was one of my first years in the minors. I was like, oh, I guess I got to get a lot better. But as far as being in the big leagues over the years, I think once I got comfortable and to the point that I was a big leaguer, just enjoying the moments there and then realizing the guys around me, like, no, this isn't normal, but at the same time, like it's literally a day-to-day thing where these guys are competing against each other to pretty much see who's better than each other, and it just becomes this amazing feat day after day. Like the balls that Vladdy hits during BP, you see guys try to match Vladdy. It's unbelievable. You can't. Like you see again. I'll go back to the home run Aaron Judge hit off me in 2023 from the tipping incident. Right, that ball was hit a mile long. That's normal people aren't going to hit balls that far, right? So he's a big leaguer. He's Aaron Judge. That's kind of the things that are supposed to happen. But, those things happen. It's a day-to-day thing, just showing you how, advanced these guys are. And it goes back to, everybody's putting so much emphasis on the analytics to try to make these things better where I think mentally you realize how good these guys are when you start talking to them and sitting down. Kind of one of the main reasons I created, my mentorship program is, you have all the analytics now and guys see that, but to become a true big leaguer, be in the minor leagues, go through these grinds is definitely a whole mindset behind it. And I feel like we're losing a little bit of that throughout the years right now, where you don't see as many former players helping these guys and mentoring these guys come through. So I think that's the level of, you know, amazement that guys can get, is like, you have to be able to understand from people that played it before to see how amazing these guys are and truly understand.
Yeah, and that's got to be tough for players that are developing in the game. Is like, you may be the best player at your level right now, but there's always going to be a better level or somebody that is better than you, except for like maybe the very small few that are ultimately at the major league level. And it's got to be, you got to go through those moments, I guess, as a developing player. How have you seen that now that you're kind of into that side of things, the coaching and mentorship side of just how players deal with continuously trying to get to that next level?
I think that's really why I've created and got the guys with me that I have to create the app and mentorship program that I am creating, the business I am creating, is because you see a lot of guys now, the hires that organizations are making aren't necessarily former players where, guys, I don't want to say that they're capped, but to have somebody that's been there before kind of helps you break through ceilings that you can't necessarily break through if you don't have a mentor that's been there before to help you. So going forward, I think that these guys need former players, former mentors like myself, like guys that they see in the big leagues to help them as coaches, but not only as teammates to get to that next level. Because you can have all the analytics in the world, but if you go 0 for 20, guys that necessarily are your coaches, and there's no disrespect to those guys that are your coaches can be like, oh, well, it's the analytics and it's these numbers, but necessarily it's not the numbers. It's the mentality. Things might be going on off the field. Things might be going on the field. And the guys that are coaching you don't understand necessarily those intricacies to help you go through them. And then with the organizations, it's based on numbers now where things might be going on off the field and then a guy gets released and now he's upset and now he doesn't put his best foot forward, not only for the organization the rest of his time, but the next organization or even in his life. So I think it's those grinds and those hurdles. You need people there for you that have been through it to kind of coach you through there to get the mentality and your mindset to be better and work through them and not just be like, hey, like it's just a one-off thing and I just wasn't good at this time.
Thank you for answering every question I pretty much had following up to that, because the mentality part of this is such a huge moment. But all I hear so many times for young pitchers is people bringing up like stats and analytics about velocity and that, and then constantly getting in their head, which makes me a little bit terrified for the up and coming pitchers and how that could impact them. But when we look at people already in the league, like say a Trey Yesavage, and you see the debut that he had, as somebody that, played in the bigs, when you look at a player like him, what is the potential that you see?
It's through the roof, right? You see it's his first year comes up and he does it exactly what he probably himself envisioned doing, but even more than he thought his wildest dreams would come true, is pitching in the World Series as well as he did, pitching as many times as he did, being in those situations to help the team, get over that hurdle and be the face of that rotation pretty much for the next, you know, hopefully 10 years, right? I wouldn't say that Cease is the face, but you got to bring Trey as the face of that. Like Cease is going to be there, and guys are going to be there to be their mentor, be his mentor, but he's got to be, after that appearance and just build on the confidence from that and just keep going forward, that he sees that he can dominate and completely, be a Cy Young, be a World Series champion at this point, and the sky's the limit for him. I think that as long as he stays the course, keeps believing in himself, finds the people around him, the good support system that he has, and the Blue Jays do have a great support system, top to bottom there. That he doesn't have a ceiling, honestly, at this point for me.
You spoke a little bit about the mentorship and coaching and how important it is also for people and young pitchers and pitchers at any level to speak to somebody like you and have it not be so analytic focused, but somebody that's been through there and help go through the mental grind. And you did go through the MLB Scout and Coaching Development Program. When you look at kind of what is happening with some of the younger players, is there kind of a trend maybe when it comes to mistakes that's not the mental game, not analytics, like they're trying to either push or throw too hard, or they're only worried about this kind of stat? Like, is there something or a trend or maybe not you're seeing with some of the younger pitchers?
I think that trend goes to the coordinators in the front offices because I did go through that program in the team I shadowed. And there's no disrespect to those guys there, but just listening to them, the coaches I was with, none of them, except for the hitting coaches and the manager, had been at a major league level. But none of them have gone through that enough. And I heard them talking about the kids and listening to them is that's kind of the trend that is going is like guys have to throw harder to get out where that's not necessarily the case. I think it's just the trend from the top to the bottom for like organizations. They're focusing so much on analytics and spin rate and how hard guys throw instead of just getting outs. I think at the end of the day, if the front offices and the guys that they're hiring are former players that have been through it, I think you're going to see the pitchers trust themselves more, have more confidence. I think I saw it with the guys that I coached last year in the MLB draft league. They literally told me over the 3 months that I had with them, and some people know how the draft league is. I literally have two teams, two separate pitching staffs over that time. I heard from both staffs that they learned and developed more from me than they have in the past few years because of just my expertise and them listening to me and because I had gone through the game and I gave them kind of things that they haven't thought of before because people that haven't been there can't give them that same knowledge. And it's not always about the spin rate, the velocity, how much this ball moves. It's about the situations where you can get a guy out, what his swings look like that whole game compared to everything else. So I think it's not just, the younger pitchers worrying about it. It's literally from the coordinators and the front offices and how the game's shifting that it's telling them that that's what they should be looking at instead of just trusting themselves, building themselves to be the best versions of themselves as pitchers or players and using that to go get out. Because if you get out, you go to the World Series. And if you go to the World Series, you have more chances to win. If you win the World Series, I think organizations see that if you win the World Series, you make more money. And I think that's what the owners are looking for at the end of the day. So it's literally not the highlight so much, but it's winning games to make the fans want to be there and have good baseball.
Yeah, and I think we kind of saw a little bit of gut feel sort of play out in the World Series. Like Yamamoto pitching in Game 6, throws 6 innings, then it's like, you know what, we're just going to throw him out again in Game 7, and he's going to throw another 2 2/3. And it was like, from a pitcher's point of view, just how crazy is that to throw on back-to-back days after starting Game 6 and then come in and throw almost another 3 innings in Game 7?
As a pitcher, you're not going to do that on a normal basis, right? You're never going to do that during the regular season. But for the World Series, as a pitcher, you try to throw as much as you can and try to be there to help your team, especially if you're the hottest pitcher and you are and you feel it. As long as you're healthy, you have 3 months to rest after this, so it doesn't matter. As long as you're able to go, you're going to go. I mean, I remember times like what he did was unbelievable. You see what Mad Bum did for the Giants playoff runs throughout the years.
Yeah.
You see starters do it all the time. Jack Flaherty did it before. A lot of guys. I did it when I've been in the playoffs throughout my whole career in just different places: Mexico, Venezuela, the Caribbean series when I was a reliever, and even when I was in Japan. Just those different places. Like if they ask you to throw and you're able to go to try to win a championship, you're going to go. You see Drake May in the Super Bowl, shoulders jacked up. He's like, shot it up, and I'm out there. It's the last chance, and you never know when you're going to have a chance to ever be in a World Series again, let alone win one. Unlike the Dodgers, I guess, where they're in it every year right now. But, I think that's a testament to their organization as well. They have a bunch of former players that are guiding these guys, and a lot of guys want to go there to play for them. I was saying that in another podcast I was in. They want to go there. But you see it, they want to win championships. Cody's going there. All these guys are going there now. Just because they have a chance to win a championship. And then when you get to the World Series, all things are off the table at that point. It's, okay, are you good? Do you feel good? Can you give us an inning? Can you give us a pinch hit? Like Kirk Gibson in the World Series couldn't run, hits a homer. Just when it comes to that level and that time of the year, everything else is out the window except for I'm going to go give my team the best chance they have to win, and hopefully my best is enough to get us through that.
Man, we could listen to you talk all day. We probably could ask you 100 more questions, but we appreciate your time today. I know we'll have you on again in the future. It's always nice to see you. Thank you so much for your time today, Jay.
Oh, thank you. Guys, one thing too is just I'm launching my baseball mentorship app on Monday. It's going live. It's called the Smile Zone. So if you know any baseball players, any family, friends, or anybody that would love to have mentors from former get lessons from former MLB and MILB players. Smile Zone will be active on Monday. I'm the founder and the lead, but the curriculum is definitely based off of my book that's up there, and it's nothing but positivity and happy vibes and supportive community for everybody that's going to be involved.
SMILE. Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you so much. We'll make sure to link to your socials. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day.